And then we come to the third principle in the same three principles. The relativism impermanent, the separate self does not exist, and that is nirvana. Nirvana as the ultimate reality. So nirvana actually means quenching. It's the ultimate goal in the teachings of enlightenment as expressed by the Buddha, representing the complete liberation from suffering. It is a complex concept for Westerners particularly, and has been subject to many interpretations. Here are some very basic principles. Nirvana means freedom from suffering. At its core, nirvana signifies the extinguishing of the three fires of greed, hatred, and delusion, or ignorance, we can say, which are seen as the root causes of suffering. This isn't just about achieving happiness, but about a profound and lasting peace that transcends every worldly concern. Okay, so what in Christian theology frequently is referred to as the peace that passes understanding. Nirvana also means beyond existence and non-existence. It's all therefore often described as a state beyond human comprehension, neither existing nor non-existing. It's not a place or a heaven, but a complete transcendence of the limitations of our ordinary experience. And then there are many types of nirvana that are described. Nirvana in this life. This refers to a partial awakening where one experiences glimpses of peace and liberation before death. And then there's something called parinirvana, the final awakening achieved either at the moment of death or before that, marked by the complete cessation of all suffering. Okay, so, and of course, the way to nirvana is the Eightfold Noble Path, and I'll go over that. So, nirvana also means waking up from all your provisional identities into your absolute identity, and that absolute identity is formless, borderless, infinite, spaceless, timeless, irreducible, incomprehensible, infinite, and eternal. And it is the real you. The formless witnessing awareness is the real you. And it's incomprehensible, but it makes all comprehension possible. It is not to be perceived because it's imperceivable, but it makes all perception possible. And it cannot be imagined, but it makes imagination possible. That pure, eternal, unimaginable, irreducible, borderless, fundamental, eternal, imperishable, infinite field of possibilities is you, the field and the knower of the field. And liberation then comes from going beyond all provisional identities into our absolute identity, the absolute infinite, which is imperishable. Now you can see the parallels between this and Vedanta. And so Vedanta also says the imperishable you is the formless, infinite being that you are, that never left home. Only its modifications are seen as mind, body, and the universe. But that imperishable you, the formless you, is the real you, without which there's neither form nor phenomena. To repeat Lord Krishna saying the same thing, water cannot wet it, wind cannot dry it, fire cannot burn it, weapons cannot shatter it. It's the imperishable that was never born, and it's you. So nirvana also means finding your true identity beyond space-time and having the ability from that domain beyond space-time to project any reality. Of course, now I'm diverting a little bit from classical Buddhist teachings, which say this is freedom from the wheel of samsara, but it doesn't have to be, because consciousness cannot help being conscious, and consciousness cannot help being creative. And that's what quantum reality is too. It's the immeasurable ground of all being and all existence. And you can see the parallels. The separate self does not exist. So, what does that mean? Entanglement. Entanglement. And then also impermanence as a phenomenon is, of course, fluctuations of consciousness, or you can say, if you want to keep the quantum mechanical model, then fluctuations of the vacuum as quantum particles, impermanent appearance of quantum particles as determined by the uncertainty principle. And that's how also consciousness projects qualia as the uncertain through the uncertainty principle. So these three dharma seals and these three foundational principles are interrelated. Impermanence is from the point of view of time. Once again, impermanence is from the point of view of time. Non-self, which means the non-existence of the separate self, is from the point of view of space. I'll repeat that. The non-existence of the separate self is from the point of view of space. That's the separate self does not occupy any space because it actually is ephemeral and transient, a fluctuation of consciousness given a story. So Nirvana then is beyond space and time. Impermanence also says that the existence of any single thing is only possible because of the existence of everything else. And this is the principle not only of entanglement, but non-local correlation and acausal, non-local, quantum mechanical interrelatedness. It's all one field as a unified process, and the field is awareness. You and the universe are awareness. You and the universe are consciousness. So, from the point of view of time, impermanence is a transient pattern in the behavior of the formless infinite being, or we can say the behavior of the universe, an abstract field of pure potentiality, and we are that. And from the point of view of space, non-self or the separate self is the universe localized. The separate self is the universe localized transiently. So you can see now the parallels: impermanence, entanglement, correlation, a single unified process in the infinite formless, giving rise to almost infinite forms and phenomena. And nirvana, that's actually having the experience that you are that. Same thing as tattvamasi or aham brahmasmi. So if you find this useful, I'll continue this series on the teachings of the Buddha. Let me know.